All right, thanks, Matt. Happy to be back here again, both for round number 8 and for the year. First big Nerd Rage event of the year. We've got Aaron Mindt and Oliver Tomajko bring to light versus Temur Rhinos. And Oliver Tomajko, someone who, and we're starting to see some more of this. We started to see some more of it last year. Players actually traveling a decent distance
Yeah.
to come play in the Nerd Rage events, which is just, I mean, that's just a positive thing overall for everybody.
Oh yeah, it's awesome. I'm not really sure where Oliver's from, but I know that he's not from the Chicagoland area, so I believe a flight was taken. And
Yeah.
Oliver's a really strong player, very accomplished player, and so seeing players like that fly out because the tournaments are pretty great.
So Aaron Mint with a Grazer.
Turn one Arboreal Grazer. I mean, if you're playing Arboreal Grazer, I imagine that you want to start with it on turn one. Turn one on the play, basically time walk.
I guess.
Pretty much the same exact card.
Yeah,
don't think about it too much.
it's well, okay. But yeah, I mean, it's nice if it gets value as a card as well. So playing against Temur Rhinos, 03.
Yeah, that 03 is not going to be great. Worth about 3 life, I would imagine.
Yeah.
No turn 2 Teferi Time Raveler. That's something that could have been quite strong here because Teferi Time Raveler does actually shut off Cascading, which is what Oliver's deck is built around. Let's see, we also would have developed probably Dryad or Renin 6 if we had that, so he's probably sitting on some combination of like Omnath, Bring to Light, might have played Expressive.
Certainly there's any number of things could be there. The Bring to Light deck is, not looking to flood the board with stuff in early turns that has value creatures, but really it's looking to set up, make land drops, and then just punt the opponent out of the match once it's really gets to pay off plays. Oliver, on the other hand, with the Rhinos deck, everyone knows how that works, looking to put hordes of or pairs of 4/4s onto the board and just take charge, which it works a decent amount of the time. So we'll see. I mean, matchup-wise, Aaron certainly has the capability of going over the top.
Yeah, 100%. And we're seeing a turn 2 cycling a land, indicating that Aaron has some more lands in hand. And we actually have a main deck Mystical Dispute here from Oliver on the Expressive Iteration. Very rewarded for an unconventional choice. It's paying off in spades here, being able to target Expressive. And then,
I mean, a few of those popping around, and main deck Mystical Dispute. Main deck. I mean, you're looking for ways to interact on the cheap for this Cascade deck to get around the limitations of your kind of focus, the core of your deck, and Dispute, an obvious sideboard card. And starting to see players play one copy main deck, which I mean, what's your feeling about that? It makes sense, or is this how much of a risk is this really?
Well, I mean, Mystical Dispute always does have that floor being 3-mana Mana Link. Is that a good card? No, but it's still a card that you can play with. And then we're seeing moments like this where your opponent does actually just play with blue cards, like Expressive Iteration or Bring to Light. Mystical Dispute is excellent against cards like that, and Oliver being very rewarded for the decision to put that in his main deck.
All right, so the follow-up here, Ren and 6 for Aaron. So the turn was still a nice one, and now Oliver. All right, following script here, you're going to want to see Cascade into a pair of 4/4s. He's contemplating, so maybe it's a choice of fetch lands or a choice of Cascaders. And in fact, it's neither. It's going to be Fury to take down Ren and 6. So I mean, that's a decision you're kind of forced to make now. It's not like you can wait and then do it next turn.
No, because Ren will have 5 loyalty, and we won't be able to do that. And perhaps we're holding up Violent Outbursts here. I think that's the main thing that's being represented at this point. And we could also hardcast Force of Negation. And Aaron just with the tap land and passing the turn back. And I would expect to see a Violent Outburst here from Oliver, although it's not impossible that he does not have it. But I would imagine that it will be on the stack here shortly.
All right, so we see here.
Okay, just a tap.
Aaron developed with a Valakut alongside the other lands. So until a Dryad is in play, this is not a deck that's going to take chip shots with Valakut. It's going to be, do we have all mountains, and do we blow you away, or are we playing basically a fair mana base that's maybe even a little bit disadvantaged because of coming to play tap lands?
It's pretty interesting to see an end of turn Fire Ice here as opposed to Upkeep. Upkeep has an advantage of potentially keeping Aaron off of a potential Bring to Light. Oliver doesn't know for sure that that's an Aaron's deck, but you sort of are thinking about it when these are the cards you've seen. And so to me, what that indicates is that Oliver was attempting to hardcast Force of Negation. And it looks like he may have cycled into. He would prefer to have that option available. So I'd imagine that there's a Force Negation in Oliver's hand here. But here it looks like Oliver did manage to pick up the Violent Outburst, or maybe he was waiting until he had backup for it or whatever. In any case, Crashing Footfalls is on the stack, and there are going to be some Rhinos in play here momentarily.
Well, we will see. See if Aaron Mindt has anything to say about this. Oliver fetches Post Cascade.
Yep, and we have the Rhino tokens ready to go. You'd love to see it.
Yeah, okay here. So now, I mean, Aaron is. We've kind of passed the first flashpoint of the deck. So if Aaron's not playing around anything here, he's just kind of not had much. Not just doesn't have the goods, whatever that may be. So
yeah, here we're going to see Leyline Binding just to take out a Rhino. Not the best play ever, but I mean, what are you going to do? Just take 8? I don't really want to do that. So instead of falling behind, and notably the Rhino is a token. So if Oliver were to pick up a copy of Boseiju later, then that would not be able to give him a token back. And another Shardless Agent is going to allow Oliver to continue just adding to the board. Now he has a total of 14 power. This Arboreal Grazer is not doing a whole lot. Aaron had a really nice start with an early Arboreal Grazer, and then on turn 3 he played an iteration, got it disputed, and followed up with a Red N6. And you got to like that opening, but Oliver has really managed to sort of take control of this game. And I see Force of Negation in his hand, which is really going to make things problematic here.
Yeah, I was going to say earlier that Leyline Binding is nice on the Worm token or on the Rhino token because Aaron with Teferi Time Raveler in his deck could reset the Leyline Binding and then get the other Worm. But that's a lot less effective now that there was a second Crash cast. And now Aaron's out of here. Okay, so Oliver Tomajko smoothly picks up the first game on the way to the winner of this match, likely good for top 8. So let's go ahead and look at some deck lists here and see what Aaron has got to both in the main, if you're curious what's going on, or in the sideboard to interact with this matchup. So, okay, the Bring to Light engine, what are we looking for here? We've got Elesh Norn, we've got Scapeshift as powerful one-ofs, and then we also have Dryad, which is great to get when you have a Valakut in play.
Yeah, Dryad is good.
Well, what do you think as far as like this kind of core build of a deck? How does this compare in power level to the Cascade Rhinos thing that Oliver's got going on?
So basically, I think the best way to look at the Rhinos deck is sort of as a tempo deck. You play a lot of free cards, and you're sort of putting a lot of resources into your Rhinos, your Shardless Agent or your Violent Outburst, your 3 mana for 8 or 10 power. You're putting a lot of resources into just making sure that's good, and you're attacking 2, ideally 2, maybe 3 times, and then the game's over. And you're using a lot of pitch cards, and so this is sort of exactly what you want to see across from you if you're Oliver. I imagine when you have a bunch of Force Negations, Fire Ices to keep them off of their expensive cards like Bring to Light. The one saving grace here is that at least game 1, Aaron has access to a couple copies of Teferi Time Raveler, which makes it pretty hard for Oliver to function.
All right, so some sideboard cards here before we go to Oliver's deck. We have Chalice of the Void, which we know is going to come in against every Cascade deck. Unmoored Ego, I suppose you could bring in and to name Rhinos. That's possible. I don't know that that's a guarantee that would happen, but it's not unreasonable, I would say.
That is an option. I mean, I would probably be inclined to go for it. It's not, especially on the play. It's not really going to work out too often when you've fallen behind on the board already. But it is somewhat difficult for the Rhinos deck to really capitalize on an advantage if their threats are just Furies and Brazen Borrowers and whatnot. I mean, if you can't Cascade, and then if they draw a Violent Outburst or some such, then
all right. So let's go ahead and jump to Oliver's deck. Here we go. Temur Rhinos deck. These decks this deck has existed for a long time. Is there anything you can pick out here? Whoa.
That's a lot.
That's what I was just going to say. I was going to ask you to pick out like something here that might be a little bit of a deviation. And then I actually looked at it and it's not 1 dispute that Oliver drew. It's 3.
Yeah, that is a whole lot. That is a big commitment to saying, I think a lot of the players in this room, they're playing with blue cards. And Mystical Dispute is one of the best. And Oliver actually with the turn 1 Gemstone Caverns.
Yay, Gemstone Caverns. I love this card.
Effectively stealing the play here with the turn 1 Gemstone or turn 0 Gemstone Caverns. Even exiling a Murktide Regent, which is good because that card is going to be useful to.
This does not look like turn 2. It looks like turn 1. Both players played 2 land.
Yeah, that is
right.
It turns out that getting ahead on mana is a powerful thing to do in Magic.
Yeah.
Both these players have identified it. Aaron with the turn 1 Arboreal Grazer, Oliver with the turn 0 Gemstone Caverns to get just get ahead on mana.
Yeah.
And they sort of are TV based. Imagine if one of them hadn't done that, then the other would just be very far ahead.
Yes, indeed. And so they just basically balance each other out by having their ideal opening.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've always been enamored with Gemstone Caverns. I've only managed to found opportunities to play with it a couple of times, and it's actually had, for me personally, had mixed results. But I do like the theory of the card. Yep. I like anything that allows a deck to have a discussion about, who's going, like, are you really going first? Can I steal going first? Like you said, you steal the play. And I think that's just such a powerful thing to potentially do. And anything that enables that. And Grazer would have been able to do that if not for the bouncing out. All right, so here we go. Fury takes our run 6. We saw that last game. I do not think we saw a land there.
Yeah. Land, which is
okay. Kind of skipping a land drop and then not having the third one kind of makes that progress. Now you have that Murktide back in your hand, and now things are.
Yeah, that is not ideal, but we're here now, and that Fury on the run in 6 is really a disadvantageous exchange because I should say, because Ren already managed to pick up a land, and the Fury costs Oliver 2 cards, and so that was effectively a 3-for-1 for not much investment on Aaron's side. Although it looks like Oliver's managed to hit 3 mana, which is a huge point for this deck because now all of the Charlotte's Agents and Violent Outbursts in the world are unlocked as options.
Yeah.
And here we see Charlotte's Agent and a Cascade Trigger. Presumably we're going to reveal Crashing Footfalls, but we'll see.
If we don't, I'll be somewhat surprised.
That would be a little surprising, yeah.
I remember quite a few years ago, there were Cascade decks in Legacy that had the option, I remember, to board in Yixid Jailer.
Oh, sure. And you just
alternate hit, but it seems pretty rare. You don't really see that in Modern, do we? To board in something else that's valuable enough in a specific matchup to reduce the guarantee of hitting our normal 0 mana payoff.
I feel like I have seen this deck have Court Firewalker in it before. Okay. I feel like I've seen that. I'm not sure if it was ever very good or popular. And we're actually not going to see any counter spells or any Fluster Storms or anything like that to fight back over the Rhinos. And so Oliver is he's got 10 power, which is exactly what his deck wants to do. He did miss a land drop. He's a turn behind schedule, but I mean, he's doing just fine here. If Aaron doesn't have a great counterplay here, and we're fetching a tapped. Okay, I don't know what that is. It's a Triome, but do you know what color?
You got it covered already. You said Triome.
There we go. Triome.
Yeah.
Triome.
With the eagle eye picks out that it's a Triome, and since I don't actually know what it is either, I'm not gonna. Yeah. I'm just gonna congratulate you on that, and we'll just move on.
Nailed it.
This Grazer has the potential to absorb more than 3 damage this time because it get blocked Shardless and then a Rhino. However,
okay, and we're sort of seeing,
wow.
Yeah,
so you
now we're seeing
we're
seeing the exact problem with Unmoored Ego, which is we're behind on the battlefield.
Yeah, this is basically, if I manage to win this game some other way, at least I know how you sideboarded for game 3, because this is, or I mean, I guess if you have, for example, if Aaron
already have the Rhinos in play.
No, I know.
Oh yeah,
but I'm saying, you get to see how Oliver sideboard if you can get out of this game.
Oh,
the name was
actually
Blood Moon.
Named Blood Moon. That is fascinating.
So that's not okay. So Aaron has a plan to deal with the Rhinos in play. Otherwise, that's just not how this game.
Perhaps there's some copies of Engineered Explosives.
I do think there were a couple copies.
Is that correct?
In the sideboard, I think we saw. I think there were in the.
There were not. There were not.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're right. Well, I
am not entirely sure
how he beats this.
What is going to happen? But Aaron,
all right. Well, let's speculate.
Plan, so.
There could be a block Shardless, take 8, play Teferi, bounce a Rhino, maybe. Although I feel like.
I mean, we know that Oliver has more.
Right.
There's like a Shardless in his hand already, right? And so Oliver chose not to play that, which is very scary. I'm not sure exactly what other cards were revealed to the Ego there.
Well, we can see Aaron in the face cams that we have enabled now with the NRG Series, and looking at his own hand. He's not looking like, how can I play around what Oliver has? He's looking at, what can I even just do about the board?
Yeah, how do we defeat 10 power already in play?
At 6 life. And now you're at the point where, I mean, even things like Ice a blocker is just, everything's difficult from here. Yeah. And
Yeah,
Aaron,
this is tricky. I'm not. Yeah, I mean, we're definitely seeing the biggest downside of Unmoored Ego, which is if you draw it or manage to play it after there's already Rhinos on the board,
yeah,
it doesn't do anything. You're just dying to the Rhinos in play, and it was effectively a dead card. You time walk yourself, and we're definitely really seeing that on display here, big time.
yeah. This is okay. Omnath. All right. Yeah,
And
that's gonna hate dispute.
one of those 4 mystical disputes, 3 in the main deck. Huge payoff here, and it looks like Oliver's just going to take it down 2-0.
Yeah. That was Aaron and that was verdict without the correct mana. Maybe was the card in hand. So that actually would
that makes
explain
sense.
Naming Blood Moon so that your verdict is live next turn if you draw the correct land. That that makes sense. So Aaron did have a plan, and the deck did not cooperate, but he had at least an idea of what he wanted to be doing there. But yeah, you're right. The Unmoored Ego, effectively a blank as far as the resolution of that game mattered, and Oliver Tomajko will advance to 7-1. So coming in here for the weekend, and absolutely is. I mean, the maybe the last, and certainly the defending Star City champion. Maybe you can add, looking to put an invite to another series exclusive end of the year event. We'll see how that plays out through the rest of the night and the morning to see if he can grab a slot. He's done the first part of the job, which was make it to the top 8. All right. I believe we're going to have a backup match. I know that we had one queued up earlier. Yeah. So we'll see if that is ready to go. And it is. Yeah. All right. So Drew Otto versus CJ Vogie. I think Gruul Panza versus Temur Rhinos. Now, players like to play their little games with the deck list titles, but yeah, Gruul Panza. Well, there are Blood Moons in the deck. It's basically a green-red creature deck with Blood Moons, I guess. So,
Hi, Joe.
Hi. I don't know if we're still on air or not. So I'm going to assume that we are until otherwise. Okay. Maybe I actually was saying that so we'd be safe, not because I actually thought we were, but now we're back in the booth. So maybe we are.
We are in the booth. The back match is still going. I can see it.
We'll wait for that to get straightened out, whatever's going on. So if chat, you had another question for Will Kruger on his tournament experiences or whatever, this would be the time for it. Yeah, or for myself also, but Will is, the kind of the one that's here less often. You've heard me talk before, so if you have something, throw it out there.
I can't see Twitch chat right now, so you are my friend. You're my guide into the spirit world that is Twitch chat. Yeah.
And if they don't come up with anything, I'm more than capable. So, all right, nothing yet. So let's talk about you. I have never had the misfortune of preparing for an event and then not being able to play in it. How did that? Yeah. How did that, I mean, obviously it's disappointing, but did that make you frustrated with the whole experience or make you more dedicated to the next time or what came out of that?
I mean, it's frustrating, obviously, but yeah. Some amount of frustration and jealousy, obviously, but nothing overwhelming. And the biggest thing was I really liked cheering for my friends who did not get COVID and were able to attend Pro Tour Phyrexia. That was a really tough time to get. That was the first time I got COVID, actually, was right then, which is awful timing, but whatever. Yeah, in any case, WotC was kind enough to allow me to defer my invite to Minneapolis, and I am just so excited to really give my all into testing Standard and March of the Machines Limited, and I'm just really excited to go and compete. I mean, getting to watch Pro Tour Phyrexia from home was definitely fun and exciting. I mean, obviously, like I said, there's some amount of just jealousy, I wish I was there and all that stuff, but it ultimately feeds more excitement to play in a few months in May.
Yeah. All right. So the first 2 questions, believe it or not, were both about how to deal with being nervous while you're playing in an event. So you have any thoughts about that?
Yeah.
Maybe either whether you feel nervous or what you do about it, or is that something you deal with, or what?
Yeah. I mean, trust me, I've been nervous in my fair share of events. I mean, the biggest thing I think number one is that and this is true for all sorts of stuff, is that in Magic, it's not even just applicable to just nerves, and it's all true to just all sorts of stuff in life. It's just you need to look at it in the long run. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You need to look at it as such that this tournament does not define me. This is I'm learning for the next tournament, and I'm not that tournament doesn't matter that much either. It's just learning and ultimately bettering yourself, and what matters is the process, I guess. Would be my best answer. But it looks like the director wants us to go to
sounds like the game one. So we were gonna show the replay of the backup match. Game one got corrupted. The file got corrupted, and it's out of here. So I don't know, those little toxic creatures, playing havoc with the players in standard and our file system. Anyway, so game one is out of here. We're gonna move right into the deck list and then go to game two. So without further delay, let's get CJ Vogie's Temur Rhinos deck here. And how many mystical suits do we see this time?
Well, we have 3, not quite as many as 4, but 0 in the main deck, I believe.
Right. Yeah. So, okay. So that is certainly a standout difference. We'll just move through this pretty quickly. And then we'll look at the Ponza deck. Now, in my kind of nomenclature of deck names, Ponza used to mean like Blood Moon's okay, and then like at least some type of land destruction. I don't believe we have the actual some type of land destruction here.
Yeah.
We do have the Blood Moons, and things are different. Like, I mean, Pillage isn't exactly a playable card these days.
You just can't put that in your deck. What we have the Arboreal Utopia Sprawl sort of mana engine. That's if you're not familiar with it, you can put Utopia Sprawl on a land, tap for 2 mana, tap your Arboreal, untap it, taps for 4. Arboreal, basically Soul Ring, pretty much the same exact card with no differences at all. And so it's that's a cool combo there. And then we just have a lot of 3-drops, as you might expect with a deck with a lot of 1 mana acceleration. We have Clothis. We have a new comer to Modern and Pioneer and Magic in general, Miglaw's Maze Crusher. Powerful 3 mana 4/4 with a bunch of activated abilities. Seasoned Pyromancer, great 3-drop. We're just going to see a lot of Modern Horizons cards. Fury, Ren, Endurance, Ragavan, and then it's just green red, basically mid range. We have Fable the Mirrorbreaker. Just green red good cards and mana acceleration. So
all right, let's roll it.
Yeah, let's do it.
So we are looking into game 2 here.
And it looks
Rhinos.
Rhinos.
It looks like Rhinos won game 1. Maybe not shocking. If no Blood Moon came down, I mean, the rest of the Rhinos are likely to be able to overwhelm the other deck, perhaps. But okay.
Looks like we have turn 2 Utopia Sprawl. I'm not familiar with that Utopia Sprawl art, but we have turn 1 Arboreal. It survives. Turn 2 Utopia Sprawl. That's kind of just the dream. And we are attacking with our Arboreal, which is not the dream. That is not the dream.
That's not Will Kruger. That's not how it's supposed to go. When you cast 2 Dark Rituals and pass, that's not good.
Yeah, that is not good at all. And we're going to see CJ go ahead and get a basic island here, respecting Blood Moon. Very smart. Although I imagine that if Drew had access to a Blood Moon, it would have been cast that turn.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's always good to play around. I mean, if you think that the island is effectively no cost to you and is not going to interrupt you casting your spells, then you may as well get it and play around potential top deck Blood Moons. Or maybe Drew is just slow rolling it and trying to get you to fetch a Ketria Triome. Who knows?
So looking again at the Drew Otto's deck list here, I mean, there being no play on turn 4 means basically we're limiting our hand to like removal and has to be interactive with cards Furies maybe. And here's a Hearse and a
so
elf.
I'm not really sure what the upside of bringing in unlicensed Hearse is, but we have the Arboreal that got bounced by Petty Theft. Very smart decision. Go ahead and keep Drew off of a couple extra mana because presumably he didn't have anything on 3. I mean, he's going to do something big next turn, and so you might as well cut him off 2 mana if you can. Not really sure what the unlicensed first. Okay, we're going to see Shock's defensive path. Surely CJ just has end of turn Brazen Borrower, right? Surely there's no Violent Outburst.
What else could there be? I mean, is there another?
There's no way that
we're 3-drop that this deck would employ.
No. Surely we're just going to make a we're going to pay 3 mana for 3 power, naturally, as is standard. Definitely not 8.
It would be silly not to.
No, definitely not 8 with trample.
All right, so
at instant
Unlicensed Hearse picks up a counter by exiling the Tarn from the graveyard. Hearse, you're saying it's is it? I mean, it can become a fairly large threat in like a very late game, but
looks like we're seeing a Bloodbraid Elf cascading here and a Bolt in the face. So let's see. Are we going to attack into potential Violent Outbursts? We don't have to. Technically, we could just not. But also, are we winning if we are? Like, if we just pass the turn here, are we beating anything? You might just have to hope that CJ doesn't have the Violent Outburst. Like, yes, it's like pretty apparent that it's likely he does, but like your best shot might just be that he doesn't have it. So I would not blame Drew for attacking here and just saying, the way that I win this game is you just don't have it.
Yeah. All right.
And
Well,
we're gonna get in.
Drew's going to put CJ to the test, and CJ is going to be
Yep, and he's
passing that test. And Violent Outburst into a pair of 4/4s here. Blood Red Elf's going to get gobbled up. And this match, we only lost game 1. I don't know how interactive or short or long it was, but game 2 was looking pretty one-sided.
In a spot like this, it's really easy to say, like, Drew shouldn't have attacked because it's so obvious that he has a Violent Outburst and he's going to cascade. But, I really think that attack is totally legit because you can win sometimes if he doesn't have Violent Outbursts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, if you're not punishing him for not having it, like, how are you going to win? Like, sometimes you just have to actually make them have it, so to speak. I mean, I'm not generally huge on that terminology, but, like, in that spot, I mean, you're never beating it. I mean,
and CJ would make that same play regardless, like you were saying. There is the Brazen Borrower, so there is.
Yeah, he's going to play it in turn anyway. Like, he would shock anyway because of the Borrower. So, like,
right, and we talked about this, in an earlier scenario, similar to this, like, one of the earlier rounds. It's like, you can't. They don't always have it, and even if they're going to have it 80% of the time, you're probably dead whether you attack or not.
Exactly, it's just not super likely when you play. And even here, Drew had a lightning bolt to finish off the Rhino. Like, was it a bad exchange? Yes, but, like, it still worked out fine for him. Fine. Well, maybe that's not true, but and now we have a Murktide region on the board. I guess that's why we brought in the Hearse, is because he must have seen Murktide region game 1.
Sure.
Although at this point, we maybe could have tried to keep him off that in some way by tapping the Hearse on our main phase, but. Oh, and once it gets 0.
Okay, that's good.
That takes care of.
Yeah.
And Seasoned Pyromancer to go ahead and refuel. That's pretty good. And we can go ahead and get the.
Nice.
We're gonna make 4 total mana here and play a card. I don't know what that is. There's a lot of there.
Well, at some point maybe we'll just determine what it is, but for the moment, we're in the dark on that one. Hearse, a 3/3 and growing. Unfortunately for Drew, a player with Fury in the deck, CJ has Fury also.
It's got to be a Bloodmoon. We tap the Scalding Tarn.
Oh, yeah, that would make sense. But this Murktide is over Fury range, which means it's a problem. Here is Hearse. It was, I guess, pre-crewed, and then can eat 2 cards and eat the Rhino here. Okay, that's something.
Yeah, that is true. So maybe it was not super advisable to attack with the Rhino into that, but we still get 5 damage here with our giant 5/5 dragon, and we've got Drew down to 10 life. So
unfortunately here that it didn't cost anything to block and kill off that Rhino, but the first one did, and this explosives now has no purpose. All right, Fury picking off Fury. I mean, Drew has an attacker here. He can crew. He can attack. This is
put you to 7.
Still a real game.
Yeah, this is not nothing. That Fury to Necrotal, the other Fury was a great play, and then slam a Stomping Ground into play on tap because of the Blood Moon.
CJ had no hesitation on attacking there. That's a little worrisome.
That is a big sign of strength. And
Drew Otto, but there's not a blocker here at the moment. It would require an additional point of damage to kill CJ here from Drew. That will do it. That will allow both the Hearse and the Fury to attack. And so this, we could potentially, even though it sure didn't look like it a minute and a half ago, we may be going to a game 3 here.
Drew has turned this one around. I mean, we have a lethal attack. I mean, CJ has cards in hand and 6 mana available. So, like, it's not clear that it's going to work. But, I mean, there's a chance.
Yeah, and Rhinos are no good as blockers here.
Ooh, and we have an ice to tap down the Fury, meaning that Drew only has access to 5 damage. A potential lightning bolt could be good enough.
Mm-hmm.
CJ down to 2 life.
Can't hope for an accidental shot here.
Oh no!
1 short.
Put you to 1, and wow, how about that? We're going to untap and attack for lethal back with the Murktide. Jeez, good game. That was a really, really solid game. Well played from both players, and very, very narrow margins there.
Mm-hmm.
And CJ manages to take it down, move on to 7-1, and I imagine we'll see him drawing into top 8 in round 9 here.
Yeah, no, that was so 2 Rhino players locking it up this round.
Very popular deck, and it looked like it. I mean, just sort of anecdotally, just from looking at the top tables, it was doing quite well. So,
yeah, and that was, That was an entertaining game to watch. It a little bit shy, 1 point. Yeah, I mean,
that was
just,
brutal.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
one damage short.
yeah, I mean, there's okay. Here's did CJ ever use that Scalding Heart for mana? Because the Blood Moon didn't hinder anything.
He did for hard cast. You know what I'm wondering? When
if the Blood Moon didn't get cast at all.
Yeah, I don't know.
If the Scalding Card has to get fetched, that's 1 damage. Maybe that's the decider.
Maybe we were just supposed to not cast it, because I think at that point we had 2 islands and a forest in play. So like,
I don't know. It'd be hard and plus you don't know if you're the player in the seat, you don't know exactly how things are going to go, and you have Blood Moon against a deck that's but maybe anyway. Interesting result there, and CJ and Rhinos advances alongside Oliver Tomajko into likely into the top 8. They're 7-1. It is probable that they'll be able to draw in, but maybe not guaranteed. Things.
It looked like it to me, but I mean, we'll see.
Okay, so until we receive direction on what to do next, if there's more questions for Will Kruger, have at them.
Yeah,
or for me, or for anything about if you're interested in how Will feels about any of the formats these days, where can you see current standings on MTG Melee? You can go to the Nerd Rage event and find the standings. You cannot find the deck lists until the top 8, but the standings, you can see players' records. You can actually see players' histories and see who they've played against throughout the event, which is actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
There's all kinds of information available that you can find even before the deck lists are revealed. Anyway, that's going to wrap round 8. Will and I will be back in a few minutes to see who's going to join CJ Vogie and Oliver Tomajko in the top 8. Stick around.